Yeah, that works.
I like
All right.
it a lot.
Okay. All right, moving on.
Hey, what about Tulip?
I don't really know where to begin, because if I had my voice back to 100%, I'd probably be yelling. After watching the Hawkeye trailer and this week's garbage tier episode of What If, I'm ready to write off the MCU much the same way I've written off any new Star Wars content forthcoming from Disney or Lucasfilm. We can go back to the beginning of Phase 4 with WandaVision, a show that I highly anticipated because of my love of the characters in the MCU. Then, I watched it and saw it unravel under the sheer weight of its own stupidity. Yet now it's won Emmy Awards.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
You serious?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier was preachy from the beginning, emasculated Bucky at every opportunity it got, and as well as basically every other male character along the way. They tried to make murderous terrorists into somewhat anti-heroes as they were led by Freckled Jesus, if you remember, the boring young lady from Solo. And then, of course, the show turned around in the very last episode in a fucking horrible monologue by Anthony Mackie, who I really like as Falcon, but he was shit in this show, and have the audacity to tell us,
You've got to do better.
Loki not only emasculated its main character, but put him into some odd incestuous relationship with his multiverse variant Sylvie that would make fans of Game of Thrones blush. Casting aside the fact that Tom Hiddleston's Loki almost took over the entire world and defeated the Avengers in the process, but some fat heifer in Dollar General armor can best him.
Now get out of my way.
Black Widow was a complete dumpster fire that ruined Natasha's character arc, turned the Red Room into fucking Bespin from Empire Strikes Back, and featured a new age version of male character archetypes. Weak, stupid, and evil. Oh, and made Taskmaster into Taskmistress, and showed us how fucking stupid the writers really are.
What are you going to do?
I was way too kind to Shang-Chi in my review, giving it a 7 out of 10 when I should have given it about a 4 or a 5. Shang-Chi was, despite it being the quote-unquote highest-rated MCU movie by fans on Rotten Tomatoes, objectively not a good film. The main character is shown to be strong and capable until his sister beats his ass because, well, we all know that any female is better than any male at any given time in any Marvel movie. It shows us that Marvel's Katie and her Blackson are the bestest archers ever with little to no fucking training. And if we get a sequel, they may as well call it Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Nuva Rings. Not to mention having a lead actor who is a cunt virtue-signaling hack.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
What if? It could have been an animated triumph, yet they decided to just replace male with female, make men look bad, race swap, try to make us feel sorry for Killmonger again via identity politics, and fail miserably at creating anything enjoyable, which honestly really stings because my son was really looking forward to the animation, and despite my loathing for it, I've suffered through every episode with him and managed not to ruin his enjoyment of it with my commentary.
Because that's what heroes do.
We still get to see Cuck Ruffalo's incredibly soy-based Hulk get destroyed by the vastly superior Jennifer Walters She-Hulk, because this show is primed to be an intersectional feminist wet dream, if those cows even have those, especially if they base anything off of a She-Hulk book that's come out in the past year or two. I mean, we're talking about stories that saw Jennifer Walters free a rapist from prison just so he could be killed by his victim, and I'm not denying the man deserved to die for his crimes because it's disgusting, and yes, he does, but we're still selling comics to children, right? So kids these days need to be exposed to feminist revenge fantasy torture porn now. Speaking of exposing impressionable kids to contemporary social fads by the way of comics, how about the red Transformer Hulk, or the fact that She-Hulk looks eerily similar to Bruce Banner's iteration in a wig and crop top?
So long, gay boys!
That brings us to the forthcoming MCU Die Hard.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I mean Hawkeye.
Some people have actually called me the world's greatest archer.
Jeremy Renner's character will be made to look like a fool at every opportunity the writing affords, as well as making Steinfeld, whom I really loved in Bumblebee, into a Mary Sue. Don't believe me? Waiting to see this 110-pound little girl beating the fuck out of 300-pound goons and ragdolling them, all without sustaining any meaningful injuries, because we all know that women can beat the shit out of any man at any time, but can't ever show a male hero besting a female villain. Just look at Thor Ragnarok. Hell, it makes Thor a bitch. And it's a perfect metaphor for the MCU. Oh, and keep in mind that Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop character has absolutely zero superpowers. Then we have the Eternals to look forward to, which has been raced and gender swapped into oblivion, and in all likelihood will be the first MCU movie that I completely bypass because it looks utterly boring and uninteresting. No, I'm not omitting anything. I wish Spider-Man No Way Home sounded promising, but what would you have me do? Fawn over Little Iron Boy Jr., which is what all the idiots in the Marvel view Peter Parker as, and it's apparent by the fact that he can't function without some sort of mentor figure, unlike his comic book counterpart, who was every bit as intelligent as Reed Richards. But hey, what do I know? So that's it, folks. That's my overview of the MCU Phase Bore. And what would you have me do other than sound the death knell for it? As we go in further and further into the garbage tier writing, characters, and storytelling that Kevin Feige and his merry band of SJWs have puked out into the cinemas and on Disney Plus these days, I have no interest. I don't know what else to say. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave your thoughts. Be sure to slap that like button. Remember, no live streams the rest of the week. We will be doing a couple more videos, and we'll be back streaming Monday night, episode 170 of the flagship show, Monday Night Going in Raw, with myself, my co-host Tony ToneDef, Red Gaze, and of course, Mr. Vinnieart. So until then, I'm Etep Queen of the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all the yous, and if I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.